Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to be pulling the Bulkhead harness, which is the entire wiring harness that runs behind the dash. It loops out of the car. Can't see it right here, but it comes out of the car right here, loops into the engine bay. It does the same thing on the other side. So it's like all the whole fuse box, the fuse box in here. So we're gonna have to pull the whole dash, the steering wheel, the seats. Gotta pull everything out. So I'm gonna be doing like a how to do, I guess. I've probably done 6 of them now, maybe 7 of them, and I've had to just learn it by myself. Just like basically I just had to start taking stuff apart and figure it out. So I decided I'd do a video on it. But first I'm gonna run to the gas station to get a drink. Too bad it couldn't be in that thing. Oh well, we'll get it running someday. But let's get going. White car just looks so good. The Hawkeyes just look so good. Man. I told myself when I bought that car I was going to fix it and sell it, but I kind of feel like I'm not going to be able to do that. Alright, so I don't want to work out here, so I'm going to hook my car up to the trailer and move my truck and back it into, the barn. So it's kind of in the trees, and yeah, I just don't want to be out in the cold. So I'm gonna get a fire going in the barn here, back the trailer in. I'll probably throw it on a little time lapse maybe, and then we'll get rolling on it. Should be a fairly long process, but always lots of fun pulling the Bulkhead harnesses. Hi. We'll let that go. Come here. I'll get that trailer in here, and then yeah, start pulling it all out. Like that. Alright, so if anybody's worried that this looks a little sketchy, just a little bit, it is. So don't worry. There's no way the trailer's gonna tip over. There's jack stands underneath it, supported in the front. I've done this a couple times with these cars now like this. Don't worry. Don't worry, it's all good. Somebody is buying the chassis, so I'm pulling all the wiring out. He wants all the body panels though, and he has a WRX that I believe he's swapping everything into, or he's pulling everything from his WRX and swapping it into here. So today we're gonna be pulling all this wiring here, all this wiring, this fuse panel, all the wiring behind the dash, and doing a little, I guess, how to do. I'm not gonna do every single little thing, just the things that are typically people get stuck on, which are disassembling this fuse panel and getting it out of the engine bay. I'm not gonna record taking all this stuff off. That's simple. Same with like the wiring that runs along down here. That's straightforward. You literally just unbolt plates that cover it and pull it off. But what I will be recording is pulling the dash and pulling the wiring in here, and then how to get it from the engine bay into the car and then out of the car. I'm gonna pull the seats first, set the camera up in the back, hopefully. Start pulling the steering wheel, pull the dash, all that stuff, cluster. So we'll get going. All right, got the seats out. So if you are just pulling your dash and not the wiring, you do not need to remove the carpet. But we are removing the dash and the wiring. And the wiring, if you don't cut it, which I don't because I sell the whole harnesses, runs about back to here. So you have to pull all the carpet, which at this point, I mean, seats are out. We're really close to having the carpet out. In the back, you have to pull the rear seat, and there's just a couple of clips. You gotta pull the side panels on the door, like here, or on the like the frame here. Same in the back. You gotta pull those. I already pulled the center console out. It's 2 screws in the back section, and then I believe 1 in the center and 2 in the front, and then the thing comes right out. So yeah, pretty easy. E-brake, you don't need to pull, but I pulled because I already pulled the cables that go to the rear hubs, and I had to pull all this apart for that. So that's already done, but you guys don't need to worry about that. All right guys, so on this driver's side, I already took these panels off, and then the carpet can come out after you got this panel right here. That other guy comes out, and you've got a thread going up here. You can just quick take off your hands. I don't even know what this little thing is. And this dead pedal has to come out too. So I'll just get underneath it and pry it. That. Now, carpet's clipped down here. Let's see if I can. Yeah, so it's clipped right there. Just comes out like that. Lift up. That's there. There. So then just like that. Oh, the one other thing that I do, remember you gotta take off is this. So this comes off. These just slide off. Like that. And there should be another one right here. That comes out. Pop this little guy off. Oh, there we go. There. That should fold it under the pedals like this. This is how I do it at least. Comes out. And you continue pulling. Then it just folds over like that. And then same thing on the other side here. Pull it out this way. That's where your ECU is. All right, now I'm gonna set the phone down to get it out of the car. That's all folded up. As you can see, no more carpet. All right, steering wheel's next. Steering wheel has, to take the airbag off, it is a T30 on each side. So they won't actually come out, but you loosen them all the way and then your airbag comes out. Make sure your battery's disconnected. So when I thread these out, I like to pull back on the steering wheel and you'll see it pop out a little bit. Like that, right there. For these connectors, you just need a flathead. Smaller one's better, but you pry up on this little yellow piece right here. It pops up, and then you just a little light pry on this whole clip, like that. And then you also got your horn ground. That's just got a little tab on it. That comes right off. Okay, airbag. And then the steering wheel is just a 17mm nut. Make sure you pull the wiring with it. So this green plug is going to come with the steering wheel because that's connected to your cruise control. Now, clock spring. Don't rotate it a bunch. It needs to stay. I mean, you can go like that, but it needs to stay in this position. Cluster, there's screw here, a screw here. Then this bezel will come out. A stubby one works better, but this is gonna work for now. Should be able to just pull on the bottom of it. Like that. There goes that screw. Bezel comes out. 3. There's a screw right here on this side, and the top. You'll see them as soon as you get it off. If you're taking this apart to put it back together, don't just throw the screws like I'm throwing them. I just have endless amounts of screws in buckets that I don't need them. So, okay, cluster comes out. You've got a boost gauge right here. It's gonna be hard to get it out, but you can do it. So then, you probably won't be able to see this, but there's 3 plugs. One right here, one on the top on the back, and on this side on the back. So I'm gonna unplug this one, just a clip like this. That one comes out, and then this next one, this middle one, that one out. Then this last one right here. Okay, cluster. Now, gotta pull this housing off. There's a screw on the bottom here. That will come out. Your little lever to adjust your steering column up and down. You gotta put this like all the way down to get it out. That. So this one, it's up in here. It's really difficult to see. There's one like right here. Right here. Where is it? Maybe it's just one on. Oh, this one doesn't. Okay, well, whoever took this apart before didn't even have these in here. Normally, there's one that goes there and there, and you get through them to this bottom like this. Clips here, clips over here, like this, just like that. All right, glove box is out. There's a little plug right here that you unplug from right there. Then you gotta unplug this module. Now, if you're selling, I mean, chances are you're probably not gonna be selling this bulkhead harness, but I'm selling this one. So if you're selling it, you want to leave. I leave every single module with the harness. So you're gonna want to either give them the glove box or give them just this module. It unscrews from inside the glove box. Some more wood on. Absolutely zonked. These just come out. Okay. Now radio out. Stock radio, unheard of. So you guys aren't gonna. Oh, I guess it comes out. Is this like the longest screw in the world? Come on, people. What the heck? These shorter screws. So it looks like 2 on each side, 2 in the center. There is a 10 mil nut on each side that's holding a bracket on. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna take this plate off over here. Just these 2 10s. Like that. There's the side 10 mil over here. Alright, there's a 10 mil like this on each side. Oh, so we got the 2 center nuts out, that stud, and then the one on each side. And you can already see it's a little loose. The next thing is we're gonna take the trim off of both A-pillars. Then back here, there's this. Don't mind this. There's a trim piece that runs all the way along the back. It's the one that's got the VIN plate on it. You're gonna pop that out like this, all the way across. Come out, and then there's an electro connector here. right there. This whole trim piece comes off. Keep it with the chassis because it's got the VIN plate on it. And then I'll show you once we get that out. All right, so this connector, you can see where you could see just the previous clip. So you gotta move maybe 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch forward and push down this little thing right there, and then you can get this whole piece off. So now we got that bolt and that bolt. We also gotta pop this guy out, which usually is. There we go. All right, got these 2 upper bolts off. Got this center clock thing out. Now, there are these right here, these 2 bolts, and then this 3rd one. That's for the airbag. And so we'll have to unclip this and take those 3 bolts out. This is gonna be tough to see, but so that one I'm going to clip. I'm not actually gonna clip the I'm not gonna clip the wires. I'm going to cut, let's see if I can point to it here. I'm gonna cut this connector right here. So the thing that holds the wires. So you can get it from in here or through here. So let me not do that. I just won't be able to record it. All right, got that clipped. This wire right here, which is, I believe, this. So this, you can push that down in that hole. But there's one way back here that is, again, screwed on. But this whole dash should come out basically. This squaring out of the way. So see, it's coming out. So let me get this all shoved through here, and I'll show you the one plug on the back. That's a pain to get to, but it's doable. There is another one right here, right there. So vents right here. All right, here's the one that's a big old pain in the butt. That guy right there. So it's facing the opposite way from us. It's what holds this rest of this dash in. You gotta take off this whole panel right here in the back. But now the dash is laying down like this. All right, so it was 6 of them. So 6 of them, and it doesn't all the way come out, but it folds up like this, and right there is our little bugger. So that guy, and there's the rest of our wiring. So this is the underside of the dash. You got all your HVAC tubing. This is where it goes to the heater core. So yeah, let's get this dash out of here, and then get to dig into this fun. Believe me, it looks, once you start taking it apart, it even looks worse. So, but it looks really bad. It's not. If you can take things apart, put them back together, you got this. All right, now we gotta get this metal, like this bar out of here. So we're gonna need to move this out of here. This is I think it's the airbag module. 4 12 millimeters. We'll remove that, and then we also have to drop the steering column down a little bit. And that is, I believe, 2 12 millimeters as well. So one's right there, and one is right there. So the steering column should like move down more. And then we've got a nut here, and then we've got some bolts over there and such, and then we've got to disconnect a bunch of stuff, but I'll walk through all of that. All right, steering column, drop down, you can see it's loose. So now we got to take off a couple of these modules, this fuse panel. We don't have to unplug it, we just got to get it off of this bar, because this bar is the next thing that we have to get out of the vehicle. So I believe that's, yeah, so we'll have to take this one off. So that's, looks like a 10 there. This fuse box is a 10, and I think that might be it. So let me zip those off quick. We also got to take off the hood latch right here, which is 2 10s. You can see the top of them here, or the would be the bottom, I guess. So you gotta go underneath here and get those off. All right, this module came off. I guess you don't have to take this one off, but you gotta take these both off. This module, pulled out of the way. This one, push it down out of the way, because we gotta take this whole thing comes with the bar. So unbolted the latch also. So now we've got this airbag module. Let's do this quick. And then we've got these also at the bottom here. That's it for down here, except taking off, like, all these electrical things are clipped on here. We've got this. Now, looks like we got maybe one more module to take off here, and then we've got a nut, a bolt. I already took off the nuts on that side. That one and that one, and then this whole bar should come out. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, missed the connector here. Let's out like this, and we're free. So we got the bar out. This is what it looks like without the bar. It looks very overwhelming, but like I said, I've done this a couple times. It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. If you guys are taking this apart to put it back together, take pictures. Take pictures how all this runs, where these ground wires go, how these wires run, where they bolt in. Take pictures. You have to. You can't, unless you're insane, you can't remember all of this. So we get this bar out of here. Then we're gonna work on the HVAC box, or the heater core box, and we're gonna work on the blower motor box, which they're both pretty easy. We will need to start going in the engine bay also. All right, we're in the engine bay here. Now, in order to get the HVAC box out, you'll need to take these hoses off. Oh, there's some coolant in there. And you'll need to take this AC off right here. So this is just one bolt, pop them off. These you'll just have to get I think that's an 8mm. Take off these hoses, and then take this rubber grommet off too, I believe. And then that way we'll be able to pull the HVAC box into the vehicle without hanging up on this stuff. Okay, coolant line's off. This goes to the heater box, the heater core box. AC line's off. Keep in mind, if you have a charge, this has never been connected up to the condenser. When I got the vehicle, it wasn't, so there was never a charge. But if you have a charge in your AC system, your air compressor or your AC compressor is still hooked up, and you take this off, it's gonna blow stuff everywhere. So it should be good to go back in the vehicle for right now. Get that HVAC box out of here. All right, HVAC box. There's this can stay with it. This thing stays on. There's only a couple plugs. There's this one. These pop off, and then there's this other long one. Or there's 3 of them actually. So you got this short one here, and then this long one here. So that's all the plugs for it, I believe. It is one bolt, one nut. Thought there was one. Yes. Another one right there. One right here. So I think that's it for the nuts and bolts. Then these things right here. There's one on each side. Here's the other one. You'll fight this thing forever if you don't take these off. So I just like to grab them like this and go down. Same thing with this one. I grab it on the side and pull down like that. So it's connected to this blower motor assembly over here. It'll come out together, honestly. One. I think that's it. Yeah, it is. So blower motor's got clip there, here. And that's it. So this blower motor actually might come right out. Sorry for the horrible videotaping, but blower motor's out. Now the HVAC box should come right out as well. And there is coolant in it, so be careful. I just spilled some. So as you can see how much room those take up. Now pretty much done disassembling things. Now it's just pulling the wiring, which is not as bad as it looks. None of this wiring right here is going to leave the vehicle. It's all going to stay in here until we pull all the wiring from the engine bay. That's going to pull and wrap around into the car. I will kind of show and explain that a little better. But yeah, let me get these, let me get cleaned up a little bit. Got a bunch of stuff laying on the ground. Get these assemblies out of here and we'll continue. All right, for fenders to come off. 1, 2, 3 up there. And your headlights off. There's one right here. 4, 5, 6, and then there's one hidden behind the side skirt. You gotta take part of the whole thing or the part of the side skirt off. You gotta take a clip off right here, and then there's the last one right there. So that one comes off. The fender will come off. I'm gonna do both sides. Not gonna record the other side. Then I'll kind of show you guys how this wiring wraps around and how we're gonna get it out of here. If you have any kind of rust on your vehicle, pretty much this bolt always breaks. Like, it broke on both of these. It breaks on pretty much all of them I take apart. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If you've got fender liners, you'll need to take those off. This one only has one on this side. And then just a few random clips. And this whole thing will come down. All right, so I'm gonna go over this part as well as I can. It's really not that difficult, but it is a bit confusing. So this harness comes out right here. It only goes as far as this ABS pump, or whatever this unit is, this ABS unit. And then there's an airbag sensor behind here. So when you take the airbag sensor out and this plug out, it will come this way. And then this whole thing will unfold it from the car basically, and it's gonna go in through that hole, through this whole grommet comes out like that, and it's gonna all go in right there. That's this side. That's as simple as it, pretty simple as it gets on this side. That one is your mat. This is for the other harness. This is all that harness, and that one just goes in directly right there. Then we've got this one. This one is like for your transmission, and then there's one that goes, there's one for your starter, that guy right there, and then there's one that goes up to your wiper motor right here. So you'll unplug this. You'll have to take the cowl thing off here. You have to take your windshield wipers off, which are these, there's one here, there's one there. Take those off. That's just some clips that comes off. So that's the only electrical connector in here. So that's all the electrical for this one. Now the big project is this one. So I still haven't gotten this liner off. It might actually just come right off if I give it a yank. Let's see here. Junk anyway. So this one, same thing. It's gonna go in through a side port here, but there's a lot more to this one. Okay, this harness goes your headlights, goes down right there, crosses under the radiator right next to this condenser, and then it goes up to the other headlight. Okay, so you'll unplug it and it's gonna come again this way, this way, this way. It's gonna come out of this port and off to the side here. Now, this is the biggest project because it's not as simple as just unbolting the fuse box. Yet all these fuses, like there's like this, all these will drop out the bottom. A couple of these other ones will drop out the bottom because we have to be able to fit out this one. Okay, so I'm gonna walk. This is the hardest part of it, along with getting it back into the car. But I'll try and walk through it the best of my ability. It's easier if you just get this washer fluid line out of the way. Like I said, if you're putting this harness back in, you can't just take this apart like I am. You have to be a little more careful. Like this harness is just getting sold, so I don't have to remember where everything goes. I don't have to have every single clip be perfect. But if you guys are putting it back, you guys are gonna have to. The other thing you'll want to take off is, this is the hood latch cable. So you'll wanna come in to the car, grab your hood latch, and you'll wanna disconnect it there. You see how that comes out? This cable folds up and comes out that slot, and then you'll wanna pop that out. And then you want to pull the whole cable. This will stay in the car. Pull the whole cable out because it's going to be in your way when you're trying to get the wiring harness in here. So I'm going to jump a little bit ahead and get that stuff disconnected and get ready to show you the how I do the harnesses. All right, so for this, I believe this is only on the 04s. I think the 05s through 7s are different. But on this 04, you've got this piece right here. You're gonna pry out on it like that, and it should come almost all the way out like that, and then that's how you get your plug out. And you can go ahead and pull it through here. Okay, we've got the ABS thing over here. Just barely fits. Got a couple clips up here. Alright, so I'm not gonna push it in there yet, just because I want to clean up in there. But yeah, you'll just basically, I'll do some of it. You push this grommet in like that, and then you're just gonna feed it in there like that. So that one's done. I like to get all these separated and then start pushing them into the car first. So we'll do this one next. We'll just work from passenger side to driver side here. We'll go from the simplest to the most difficult, just so you guys can get used to it. But yeah, this one's pretty self-explanatory. You just unbolt this, basically unplug anything, and same thing. First you pull this grommet out like that, and then you're gonna tuck it through. And you don't have to do it yet, but when we need to, you'll tuck it in through the car. Same thing with this one. Pull it, tuck it, and then we'll do more detail of this. This harness, you can see it runs all the way along there. So I'm not going to show all this, but I'm going to undo all that. Unplug this headlight assembly, and then same thing on this side with the airbag thing. There's another airbag thing right there, and I'm going to pull it out right here. Right through this port, pull all that stuff out. Then I'll in detail show you this, because this took me forever to learn how to do, just doing it by myself. So I'll show you that after I do all the rest of the stuff. We've got passenger harness out, or off to the side. This one is ready to go in the car. This one is also ready to go in the car. We have this one that ran along by the condenser and the headlights. That one's pulled out. We got it all disconnected from the body here. Got this grommet pulled out. Now we get to deal with this fuse panel. this center one right there. So you're gonna pry on that one. There's one on each side, one there, and one right there. Once you understand how it comes apart, it's pretty easy. So let me see if I can set you guys up so you can watch me do this. All right, I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to see, but so same spot, we're just gonna push up from the bottom, and then you'll see how it comes down like that. Same thing on this side. Stick your screwdriver in, and if you get it far enough, it should. So, section 1. Now, the next section we got is this one right here. So same thing, screwdriver from the bottom, and then push down as you stick the screwdriver in there. That comes out. Now, the next one, you gotta take this whole bottom panel off, like this. Whole bottom panel comes off. Like I said, take pictures of all this if you're not, or if you are putting it back together. Now, these ones are fairly straightforward. They're just clips, like a normal electrical connector. So under this panel, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Then you got this. So all those stay in there. You've got this one. This is your positive battery cable. I had already disconnected the one that goes from here to the starter, I believe. Which the starter will probably either be out anyways or sitting up here, so you'll be able to see where it goes. But that is how you get this out. So you'll just set this off to the side. Now, there's a somewhat strategic way to go through here, because you can't just pull it all through, because like some of them are too big. So first thing is first, you gotta take this little green thing off. Now, what I've found the best way to do is save this. So literally have this main piece go out last. So yeah, it's just, there's no certain way to do it besides that. Yeah, this needs to be, so everything needs to be through except like these two right here, because what I found is this doesn't fit out this hole unless all the wiring's already out. So I'm just gonna start feeding it through. You know, start with ones that make most sense. So like this one is already halfway through because some of the wiring is sticking out. So just pull that through. Next, these two, because they're already sticking through. Pull those through too. This one, a lot of these you'll have to go, a lot of them you can't pull through backwards. You have to stick the plugs through first, if that makes sense. Now next, we'll do this one. That. Next, this long one. This. Keep on feeding it through. Alright. Getting close to the end here. So yeah, just got this bundle of stuff. You gotta get this through. That. Then this. Boom. So there's your wiring. So now you don't have any more wiring in your engine bay. No more wiring in the engine bay. Fuse panel's gone. And wouldn't it be so nice to have a fresh engine bay with no wiring in it? Looks so clean. So here's the harness. Now we're gonna start pulling through the side. I am going to clean up a bunch of stuff out of here so I have room, because like I said, all the wiring we just pulled out outside there is coming through all those grommets and that's coming into the car. So we're gonna need a lot of room. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean up, and then I might skip past unbolting like just these obvious ones. You unbolt those obvious ones. All right, ECU. ECU is pretty straightforward. Sits right under this panel. This whole thing should lift up like this. You can leave it plugged in or unplug it. Doesn't matter what we're doing. So you can see here's one of our passenger side grommet. The next one over. The next one over. And then the far big one, as you can see the light way over there. We still got to move a bunch of this stuff. That's what I'll be doing next. Probably can set the camera back up now. There's like some of the wiring, you know, you gotta follow back a little ways and unplug, but none of the wiring really goes any farther than like say this point right here, if you unplug it correctly. So these are the clips I was telling you about on these this big white connector here. You can just thread them out by hand now, and then this white thing you gotta lift up on. There's a little latch there. Lift up and pull out. Same thing. Oh, we gotta get this bracket off. Lift up, pull it out. A couple big connectors here. Right there, there. Pull that away. So over here, as for over here, I unbolted this bracket. This plug goes to the door, so you don't need to worry about that for right now. This one that runs back here, you will need to take this piece off, and so most of the ends right here. Unplug it. Those unplug. Then you do need to unbolt your seat belt here, because there's a wire that you just can't reach. It's this one. I believe it goes to, I think it's this. So you'll need to unscrew that Phillips. All right, here's that thing when you unbolt it. Unplugging it, let's see if we can just pull it down. So we don't need to worry about this airbag one, but there's a clip right there. So we gotta pop off. And then there's one that still goes farther up, and it's for your rear door. So if you pretty much close your rear door, you'll have enough room. You pop this grommet off, and then you kind of gotta feed this out. But yeah, here's the clip for the rear door. So you unclip that, undo that clip right there, and then this harness should come out. And then we'll do the same on that side. Not gonna record that, but yep, same thing on the other side. All right, so how we don't want to pull the rear harness, which this is all part of the rear harness, which leads to here. So you're gonna want to pull these outer plugs out, leave them with the rear harness. This will stay with the front harness. Like that. This stays with the rear of the car. This goes with the front. So I literally just like leave these plugged in. Some of them are for the seat or the DC/CD. This has something to do with the DC/CD, I think, as well. Yeah, I believe it does. But just like unclip all this little stuff. Just leave it with the harness. Leave as much harness as with the harness as you possibly can. There's this one, I believe it's for the radio, and it runs up here. I always leave this one with the car, so you just gotta basically fish it out of all this wiring. Then I gotta plug my phone in, but I'm gonna keep videoing on all this right here because we're pretty much done with all this over here. We're ready to start pulling it in after we move this stuff. Now over here, just gotta unplug. Like there's some stuff for like the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, all this stuff you gotta unplug. This is the one that went to the rear passenger door. So that's all good. Here's the other one for the front door. So we'll just unplug that. I'm just gonna rip through this really quick because my phone is about to die. So I'm gonna rip through this really quick. Set my phone down. Then once I get like this, these 1, 2, 3 spots of pulling the wires in are really straightforward. You pretty much just pull them straight in. I will only video this one because this is another one that, like up front, you have to like strategically pull the wires through, I guess, because you can't just pull them through, they won't all fit. So I'm not gonna record these 3, I will record this. About a minute later, got these 3 pulled out. Now, you have to go outside the vehicle. Those 3 you can pull from inside the vehicle because there's, like I said, you can just pull the wires through. This one, we're gonna have to do strategically again. We'll get this grommet in there. Let me set up the camera because I won't be able to do this with one hand. And I believe, once again, this has to be the last thing, I believe. So I'll know as soon as I start doing it. All right. So this rubber grommet in. There we go. Yeah, now I believe what I do is literally all of it goes in this last, and then there's still like there's a loop of this out here, and I put the loop in. So yeah, let's start with, so like I'll grab like this whole section and I'll start feeding it in from the opposite end, push that all in, and then just keep choosing from there. Probably gonna time lapse some of this because it takes a long time. All right, last little bit. Pretty much everything's in except this big piece. Careful, you can cut yourself on here. Got a little bit of a war wound going on. So, last little bit. And it just fits through. There we go. Man, look at that wiring. Okay. So, I'm gonna try, don't know which way I'm gonna go out with it. Might try and pull it out that way. I'll set up the camera though, just so you can see me struggle. But yeah. Bulkhead harness pull. I'll show it to you guys once it's out, just because it's a lot of wiring, so it's kind of cool. But it's probably gonna be a fairly boring video. It's gonna be for somebody that's doing this, not for somebody just to watch, for sure. So here's all the rest of the stuff that I pulled out. Fenders, a few more things over there. Cat's still chilling. Hi. All right. go, the whole steering column is with it. At least the whole key with it. Everything. So when it gets sold, they get the keys, they get the ECU, they get everything. So that is bulkhead harness removal. It took me, I don't know, maybe 4 hours of like actually consistently working. I usually pull out the pedals and stuff also later on, but yeah, thanks for watching. This will be up for sale with the ECU, so I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe, it helps me out a ton. Just more people to subscribe, the more I want to make videos. So again, this will be a long one and probably a boring one, but I haven't found another video on how to do this, so it should apply for 04 through 07 STI. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it will apply for that. 02 through 07 WRX, 03 through 08 Forester. It should be all fairly similar. It's not going to be exactly the same, but this will give you a really good idea on how to do it. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.